These three human nature principles are unmatched when it comes to raising capital, finding money partners, and then having people want to continually work with you, work for you, or even just bring you leads, basically marketing, right? Now, you got to understand that if you have no understanding of the laws and principles of human nature, like good luck even attracting your first client, your first money partner, your first customer, your first investor, because it's not going to happen. The immediate feedback that I like to see is that once people start learning about human nature, it becomes less about like the me show, and it becomes more about how to offer more people, other people wins, right? The moment I start to notice that one person is just focused on, it's usually a freak out moment, but they're just focused on themselves. That's the moment I start to notice that, okay, they're going to have a hard time raising capital, finding other people to join their team, and then finding money partners and even people to bring them leads, right? Because they're too focused on themselves and not how to help other people, right? First principle that is a huge help is, first one is I like to call it as, people don't care until they know that you care. Again, people don't care until they know that you care. People don't care about your real estate investing opportunity until they know that you actually care about them. People don't care about the product or service that you're trying to sell if they don't know that you actually care about them. And then again, people don't care to bring you deals. They don't care about your goals. They don't care about what you're trying to do unless and until they know that you actually care about them and then what's in it for them. The question I always ask myself is, what's in it for them? What do they need? What do they want? Okay. And by focusing on this, it gets me out of my own head and my own problems, because the moment I'm focused on my own problems, then I'm not helping other people solve their problems. Now, there's going to be a counter argument to this, right? Because I want to make sure you guys are critical thinkers and not just taking this for plain value, like face value, right? You got to understand how to ask those questions, how to have those conversations so that people know that you actually care. A few ways that I do that. One is the 6 boxes that I always talk about. How do you use those 6 boxes, those step-by-steps to figure out what is it the other person needs and are we even a good fit to help them? If not, that's okay. You can walk away from those deals, those money partners, those opportunities, if it's not actually a good fit, right? We're not having to convince anyone of anything here, right? Next is understanding how to communicate in a way that gets them to show that you actually care. How do we do this? A lot of it is making sure we're actually paying attention to the other person. Whenever I'm talking to someone, I'm trying to make sure, okay, I understand, I repeat back what they say. I'm just trying to see how is it that I can show that I genuinely actually care, right? A big one is try to figure out what is it that's their main problem and then focusing on how can I either help them solve that problem, right? How can I find them someone who can help solve that problem, or how can I show them that that problem might not even actually be a problem, right? That's the first principle, right? People don't care until they know that you care. So our first job is to show them we actually care. Now, you do not, counter argument to this is you do not want to be a people pleaser, right? I will fall into this a ton of times in my past because I just wanted other people to win. You also got to understand that you need to win as well. You are other people. You are a person as well. If you want other people to win, it's okay for you to want to win as well. Okay? In fact, it's actually going to help you if you find those win-win relationships. Not only are we trying to help the other person, but we also want to win, right? If you're trying to raise capital, what's in it for them? Because you're going to get capital return. If you're trying to sign up a new client, close a client based on your product or service. I know a lot of us in Alliance here are in small businesses, right? Outside of real estate or in and around real estate. Cool. Well, you probably need some skill sets, some mindsets around sales. That first one is, how do we have that conversation and figure out what's in it for the other person? not just the sale that we're going to make, right? And then finally, for getting people on your team, getting people to do marketing for you or with you so that they bring you leads. Again, what's in it for them? This is why I always offer people up to $1,500 if they give me a referral. My dad has actually brought me deals, and then because we were able to close them, the moment I got paid, I paid him some cash, right? What's in it for him? I could just be selfish and be like, oh, he gets to help his son. Cool. That's selfish. That's the me show. We don't want that. We want what's in it for them. Give my dad some cash. Awesome. You could use that. Next principle that you want to take a look at that's going to absolutely change the game when it comes to raising more money, attracting better people on your team, better clients, and actually being able to help these people is going to be called the law of pre-selection. This is super powerful. Deep dive into this if you choose, but I think just the law of pre-selection can absolutely change the game because it's going to allow you to add more leverage and then get more results with a little bit less effort, right? Now, what is this law of pre-selection? The law of pre-selection is that it stems off the idea that humans are naturally lazy and we will make decisions based on if that person, that option has been selected in the past, right? Example. The best example I use for this is going to be in dating, right? If someone has already been chosen by someone else or has been in the past, people are a lot more likely to like, trust, and then want to be with that person. If you think about it, if you're someone, let's say you're trying to find dates, but you've never been on a date, one, it's affecting your confidence, but two, people are going to wonder, why is it that this person can't get a date? Versus someone who has a history of dating other people, especially if it's a good history, and they put themselves out there and they're able to really show that they have been pre-selected or at least put that as part of their story, that person's going to have a way easier time finding dates. It's the same with finding money partners and clients. And this is why that first money partner, that first client, that first investor is almost always the hardest to find and to lock in and to close. It's because you don't have a track record, meaning you have never been pre-selected before. Versus if I already have a track record of money partners that show they've already pre-selected to work with Pat. They've worked with him in the past. It makes it easier for myself to work with him, right? Now, pre-selection is powerful because you get better and better and better, and you add more and more and more to your pre-selection the longer you're in the game, especially if you're doing it right, right? Don't worry if in the beginning you don't have money partners, you don't have a team yet, you don't have people bring you leads, you don't have investors, right? Because as long as you get that first one, then that adds and builds off your pre-selection. Once you become selected, you've already been selected, right? We want to focus on making sure that you're able to build that proper track record. And this track record, this pre-selection becomes more and more powerful over time, especially if you get more and more what we like to call positive testimonials, right? Are all your money partners, are all your deals, are all your clients going to be completely 100% satisfied? It's a knock out of the park every single time? Probably not. Like, even if you're the best of the best, you're going to run into some of these issues. You're going to run into people who may come you want to build a track record that's good, right? Because pre-selection is great because you can build it over time. Pre-selection, again, counter argument, pre-selection will bite you real fast if you're unable to build a track record within, let's say, 3 to 5 years. If you've started learning real estate, you started documenting that process, and you actually haven't closed deals yet, you haven't improved your financial situation, you haven't even gotten pre-approved, you don't have a down payment, there's all these steps that you're missing, you're not your leverage, but your track record and your credibility just goes down and down and down, right? It actually works in both your favors. If your credibility and your track record keeps going up, well, hey, it's moving up. But if your track record, nothing's happening, and you just end up becoming placed and categorized as a tire kicker, done, right? I actually have like a secret blacklist of people that I just don't work with, mostly because they just never took action and just tire kicked so many times to the point where even if I like the person, I'm not bringing them deals because I know they're just going to waste my time, right? And it's because pre-selection worked in the other direction. It's no one wanted to work with this person for so long, and they were unable to execute to the point where they've built a track record of being a non-closer. If you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. If that makes sense. But the next one is going to be the most powerful of these human nature laws that I want to cover this today before we jump into the other stuff. And then I'm going to exit out of Instagram here. Is going to be the law of reciprocity, which is based on the idea of give and you shall receive. Well, law of reciprocity. Yeah. How does this work with money partners, investors, potential clients, people that want to work with you? The law of reciprocity states that when you give, people want to give back, right? So if you give first, it's a very easy way to position yourself as someone who's abundant because you're offering value, right? And again, if you understand what's value for the other person, this is way more powerful. When you combine it with that first principle of people don't care until they know that you care, right? Because you're giving them something that they actually care about, right? If someone comes up to me, one of my first students, before I was even charging money for real estate coaching and in financial abundance coaching, he would actually just come, hang out, and he would offer value in good vibes and fun, right? What I want to highlight here is you can actually offer value and use the law of reciprocity even without money. He wasn't spending money. He knew that I worked a pretty stressful job. I was still doing renovations, and he understood that just me having a good time, having fun, being able to laugh and joke, that actually offered a lot of value to me, especially when he would see that I'm just like, go, 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 go. He took time to figure out what I care about. I cared about like good times, just being able to shut down after a long day's work, right? Then he also brought leads. He knew I was looking to coach other students. So he brought me leads, didn't ask for anything in return, right? And because of that, we developed a relationship, and then he actually ended up becoming one of my first students, and he got like a pretty awesome deal, right? But the law of reciprocity is that you want to give, and then do the ask, right? But you don't want to just give value if there's no value. I shouldn't say that should be given, but if it's not valued, right? What do I mean by that? Let's say you're a real estate investor, right? You want to close that first deal, and you want to raise money from someone who's a multi-millionaire. They're running successful businesses, and you think, hey, cool, I'm just going to message this person, and what I'm going to offer them is I'm going to offer them to take them out for coffee. Well, that's offering value, right? But if you think about it, that other person, they could buy their own coffee, right? So it's not that valuable to them. What value are they really receiving? They're receiving maybe a $5 Starbucks coffee, but now they got to take time out of their day. So they're losing time. They are probably taking time out of their business and their family. You're taking away their even more time, not just from them, but from other people. And then you're also just going to pick their brain. So they know they're going to basically be giving you free information over the exchange of a coffee, right? Not the best law of reciprocity, right? You're not really offering them too much, right? Instead, maybe you do a little bit more research, and then you find out, his daughter is really into, this new restaurant that's opening up. And then you just so happen to know the owner of the new restaurant, and then they're having an opening, and you can kind of get them in at like a reserved dinner. Even if it doesn't cost you anything, even if it's just you're using your own connection, but then you're like, hey, I got you guys a dinner. If you guys want the reservation, it's at this time. We can go meet there. And now you're offering more than just coffee, right? You're offering value based on what they want and what they care about. And it shows that you actually care, right? I'll give you another example. I'll have people DM me and then say, oh, they want to do like copywriting. They want to like write emails for me and stuff like that. Cool. But like, I already have a copywriter. Me even responding to this person takes time away from the students I could be helping, takes time away from my own projects, my time with my own family. And it's actually just a theft of my time, right? Sometimes it's easier if you really flip it around of how do I not offer value to this person and then do the opposite. Especially if you're trying to raise capital, you really want to deep dive. What is it this person wants? And then make the offer fit that, right? Even when you're setting up that initial first meeting with this person, you want to make sure that it's actually a value offering. It's not going to be, hey, I want to sit down with you so I can raise money from you. No, you want to probably frame it as and say it as, hey, I'd love to sit down. I have some real estate opportunities that I think would be beneficial for your goals. I'd love to see and chat if that's actually the case. If not, hey, no worries. We don't have to work together. Now I'm just pushing an opportunity as opposed to like, hey, give me your money. That's not really value offering, right? Cool. If you guys have questions on those law of reciprocity or the law of pre-selection or the law of what's in it for them, basically of offering value first, law of reciprocity and the people don't care until they know you care are very similar. You'll see that they go together because you might think you're offering value, but you could be pushing people away. All right. That's key. That's huge. Now we're going to dive into how we can put this all together and then show exactly how you could turn a money problem into a potential solution that will allow someone to want to work with you, want to be your client, or even want to be your money partner. For the ones on IG, I'm jumping off right now. If you like this type of content, seriously, if you guys watching this, you guys have friends and family that want to learn real estate investing, especially the stuff that we can go super deep on, which is raising capital, have proper human nature based marketing strategies and able to put creative deals together. This is the place with Allyance Real Estate. Appreciate everyone that's in this call. And then for ones on IG, all you gotta do is drop a fire emoji if you want to get in access on this. Got a few spots left. One was actually just taken right now. But let's dive into how do we actually figure out your financial security numbers and then also your potential clients and money partners. Okay?